So I've done a video on why empaths are not better than narcissists. In fact, they might be worse because they're the covert know-it-alls, covert judges, you know, oh, look at those narcissists, we judge them as wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then when we get allow ourselves to be taken advantage of, I really need to work on my semantics, then we are the victim, right? What's the difference between that and a narcissist? Get supposedly empaths or whoever to help them, do stuff for them, give them money, whatever. And then when they're no longer willing to give, then the narcissist is the victim. And why are you abandoning me? And why are you such a mean person? And why do you hate me, right? So both are BS. Both are ridiculous. And both are missing the point of life. However, Yaku, you have your leg cut up in the cord, in the charger. However, the empath may be the bigger fool. Oh, thank you for paying attention to the thing I just mentioned. Dear Lord Jesus, help me have patience. I actually asked to master patience just before I got pregnant with this child. I've been challenged greatly. Yep, I got pregnant with this child because of my own decisions, not because I'm a victim of anything.
Mom, that's fun in it.
I'm doing a video, right? So you can listen to it later and maybe other people can benefit from it. So
Mom,
I've
do
always
yourself.
been, oh, can you eat your yogurt and let me talk to the camera? I'm trying, but you're talking to me and it's difficult to talk to you and to myself in the camera.
Mom.
So I'm going to ignore him now because he'll just ad
Mommy.
nauseam talk.
Why?
I'm here in the house alone with him, in a town alone with him, and I have nobody that can help me with him, and I'm not leaving him unsupervised because people are crazy. I have been and am despised, hated, desperately wanted, dead, and murdered. Because one, I don't let people get away with anything, and two, because I don't let people be the victim of anything. You're not a victim of anything. Okay, let me take that back. You're not a victim of a lot. There are victim situations, for sure. But most people that think they're the victim did have some power in making choices that would have prevented and or diminished things that ended up unfolding. But the main reason why I don't like to coddle people in their victimhood is because that's disempowering. Yes, we hold people accountable according to the law, etc. But victims, no, that's not empowering to you, and it's keeping you in a gross place, and it's making you experience a terrible thing that was already terrible over and over. It's not beneficial in general. But I wanted to cover more about the levels of this situation we're dealing with here on this planet as I see it, my perspective, my interpretation, my ideas. There is the majority of us which fall in the category of, I don't like these labels at all. I think empaths are narcissists, and I think narcissists are narcissists. So I'm going to call empath and narcissist all on the same spectrum of the narcissism. It's just that it's a spectrum. So where you fall in that's the majority of us. We're just confused as hell in there, okay? And then there's the people that are very few and far No, I think there's more than we realize. They're kind of like Christ-like. They get it. They understand the nature of this reality, and they know how to work it fully and completely. They have total clarity. Boom. And then there's the robot people that are, maybe they sold their soul. Maybe they were born without one. I have an idea that there are people that are walking around in human avatars that are not actual. They haven't inhabited the soul or the self. Maybe it's like the personality hasn't really been embodied by these souls, because we're all spirit. We're just different spectrums of spirit. So perhaps it's those who are very, very young souls, very young spirits
I told you.
on the planet that have come here to have this experience, and so they haven't developed a personality yet, and so they are like a carcass walking around, just swallowing up everything and basically memorizing and regurgitating. So that's why you'll see people that they'll talk about the narcissists that just copycats. So they take on your personality, your likes, your desires, da 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 da. But basically they're a shell for a program, and there's no self there. Are they born that way? Are they made that way? I think there's probably a combination of both. But these are the people that can be really dangerous because they don't care. They don't have a conscience. They don't care. They're just a shell. They're a robot.
That's your big thing is on.
I don't know how I know this stuff.
Mommy,
It just comes to me, and I think there's value to it, and so I share. I guess it's like how these people that talk about channeling is what I finally defined it as a possibility, but I don't know. I don't like that because I hear a lot of channelers that are saying really destructive things that are not healthy, and for us to do those things, and so that bothers me. You need to do your due diligence. You need to follow your own heart. No matter what ideas are being shared, it's really scary to just blindly follow anyone and what they're saying. But everybody's making up stuff. There's not one single person or thing, no matter how expert they claim to be, that has any ultimate truth. They're all making up stuff. And so you always have to use your discernment, period. And some of us have lost the ability to really do that because we've been so programmed away from who we really are that we have to do the work that it takes to come back to ourselves, find ourselves. Anyways, so these shell people, I think some of them are made, so that would be in the narcissist spectrum. And then others, I believe, are born robot shells. They are not gonna ever have a soul. They're not gonna ever. They're literal. It's like they are a robot. Because they don't have a soul, they have no ability to ever empathize, even in any way, shape, or form. They're here for the sole purpose of destruction and darkness, overtaking. And maybe they did that because even though they were breaking us enough and are breaking us enough to make some of us basically robots, maybe those aren't robots enough to do the real dirty work. So basically, through my life experiences, I realized that the only thing that makes sense is that we are in a war of good and evil, and it's a spiritual war. It's a vibrational war being fought in the ethers of vibration. And there's all this manipulation going on, which they get at us through programming us, through television, radio, books, movies, churches, governments, you name it, whatever, politics, where they're coming at us via the medical system, like all angles, and there's all variety of these things that I'm talking about in all these areas. So that's why you can get really good stuff out of the television, radio, medical system, government systems, etc. All the systems I already mentioned, and more that I'm forgetting and not remembering about. So it's very difficult to discern who's who. And even when we're guided, right, in our inner guidance, what are we being guided by? What are we channeling if we're flowing information through us, which the channeling, in my opinion, is just ideas from another realm. Very nice. Flowing through us based on our desires, questions to know and get information about particular things. But it also is just according to our state of our dominant state of being. So if we're dominantly angry, or if we're dominantly paranoid, or if we're dominantly afraid, we're going to be channeling or flowing information according to those things that match that. So it can be really frightening because people are getting results, scientific evidence for stuff that they're getting it based on their dominant vibrational state of being. You get what you want to get. So if you're looking to find that something is good, and that's your dominant intention, then you're gonna find areas where that has benefit. But then neglect to look at all these areas where it's a detriment, because that's not where we're focused, right? So then we get conned accidentally most times. These people are not intending to hurt people a lot of times. They mean well, but because we're not doing our diligence, so we're not asking God creator, goddess creator, whatever you want to call it, person, entity, spirit thing, what is best for me specifically, and the intentions I came to this planet to experience, and in the best interest of where I'm wanting to go from here, etc. They use talking points like facts and science just to get us to blindly go along with, but there's really no such thing as solid and definite proof, because of the nature of our reality that we attract where we focus. They're going to attract facts and proof for what they're wanting, even though there's ample evidence of other options as well, but that's not what they're looking for, so they're not going to find it. So that's the well-intended people, but then there's also malicious intent. So people are just saying those things that they don't actually have that backing. So it's really important to find ourselves and get our hearts in a good place. And why I focus on teaching people joy, highest joy, and no, murdering people isn't happy. It might be like some evil, creepy pleasure involved in that, but it's short-lived, it never lasts. You always want more and more. You're never satisfied, right? I'm talking about true, sustainable joy. And we have to remember that there's all these various options. So when I deal with humans, I'm not over there like buying into anything, right? If I choose to help somebody, I always convince myself that it's okay to do it, regardless if I'm getting ripped off or scammed or not. Because I don't know sometimes. I don't know every time. I'm inspired to do a thing. And that's how I justify it. I say, God creator, Goddess creator, whatever. I don't know how to say that. Doesn't sound right. Goddess, bringer forth of creation. Whatever created us, right? Whatever's behind all this.
Okay.
Whatever gender, if any, is inspiring me to do this for a good reason. Maybe that reason is this is going to be really hard. I'm going to learn and grow from it because of the hardness and what's coming from it. My last experience of what I was inspired to do was really it's pleasurable, but also really, really hard and heartbreaking and scary.
Put my clothes on. Don't put on.
Growth came from it. My last, okay.
Now dry it.
There's one after another. Like, it never stops for me because I don't stop. I don't want to. I'm not inspired to stop. So the current thing I'm doing now is also scary and bizarre and something I know I called forth, but then I'm like, oh crap, and I've actually been here before, and then it got sabotaged, so I had to stop, and then now here it is again. But there's also all these very wonderful things happening amongst the fear and the scary stuff and the uncertainty and the what the hell, and I want to go away now, and I don't know if I want to do this, and yes I do, and no I don't, and yes I do, and no I don't. But I trust it because I was very guided from right here, from joy, etc. But I never know what I'm really encountering. I just know that the growth and knowing it's going to come from it is going to help me with what my intention was when coming to this planet. And exactly what that is, I don't know. So, how freaking scary is that to live that way for most people? Like, most people that I know are petrified of change. They hate anything that's out of the normal and ordinary of the day-to-day life and home and people that surround them, etc. But I also know they're very depressed and even suicidal sometimes, and deteriorating and stressed and having mental illness problems, etc. So live that way, do that. But don't pretend it's ideal and satisfying that you're happy. You're not. It's evident to anyone willing to see. And regardless of that, doesn't matter. We all have our own path and our own time that it takes to get to wherever we're deciding that we're going. And I'm not judging either way. I would never try to tell anyone how to live their life as much as I would hate for them, and I do hate it when they think that they should tell me. But I love going through the really hard stuff because I love getting to the really delicious stuff. Like, it's better than, I've done, not every drug, but I've done a few, more on the more natural spectrum of things, a few of the chemical. And nothing matches this. Nothing matches going through that really hard thing and getting to that bliss in the high department. Well, like, no, nothing matches it. So that's why I don't stop, and that's why I don't intimidate even when I'm freaking out, right? And usually when I'm freaking out, it's because I'm tired. So what does that have to do with all these various spectrums of entities, beings, carcasses walking around and human avatars? Has pretty much everything to do with it, because throughout our life path of following our inner guidance and our highest joy, we're going to encounter all these variety of people, and we don't necessarily have the ability to discern who's who. So we're either going to not go after life experience, or we are. And when some experience comes along that's unpleasant, we can take full responsibility and not be a victim of the narcissist or of the evil person that did the bad thing. All of these spectrum of people and things are a blessing because they're helping us grow and get to the place, the next level. It's like a video game. I make fun of video games. When it's an adult focusing on them that doesn't know how to man stuff and or lady stuff, then I do make fun of it, to be honest. There are all these variety of people, and
just get out of here.
like if you have a really if you have a life path that came here to kind of change things or to totally change things, then it's really frightening, because they're going to try to stop us. They don't like change. The shell people, the robot people in particular, do not like change. It freaks them right the freak out. Try not to swear. And then they get nasty. So really what's best, and they go after things that are most precious to us, our lovers, our children. So really, those of us that have that life path, it's best for us to not have lovers and not have children if we can't handle when they're going to be ripped from our hearts. Because unless our lovers and our children are extremely clear themselves, they will be infiltrated by these demonic entities that are there in place to sabotage us. So I messed up. I had a bunch of children, and I have had many lovers. And I don't stop because I love loving and I love being loved, and so I keep searching for that. And I love children, and I love being the avenue through which they come forth, because I allow them to be who they are, fully loving them unconditionally, something most humans do not do. But I also recognize and I know the game we're playing here. So when they get used to try to sabotage me, whoa, look what happened. I'm flying. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's my child's life path now, and now they get to go through hard stuff so they can come out of it on the side of the light, hopefully, right? But I don't get to dictate that either. But really, ultimately, if I would have been more discerning and focused on my life path, maybe I would have decided, like if I wanted to be a truth teller, speaker, not having kids would have helped me be more focused on that. So maybe next life. Maybe next life I won't have kids, but because I did have kids, I do have to be very discerning about what I pursue and what I say and what I do in the truth-telling department.
Oh, it's burning. Oh, my clothes are dirty.
Because these evil shell people, they go after the babies. You know, of course, they'll try to get us thrown in jail and all these various things too, which I want to cover in a different video. But it's really important to not get so emotionally involved and invested, right? I mean, we don't want to be numb shells ourselves, but like keep things in perspective. And when something isn't, I don't know, I don't get like so, oh, this is the one, or this is the thing, and oh my God. No, I'm always just like, yeah, I'm just having fun with this. I'm just in the situation. Like, yeah, maybe, like, okay, maybe not, like, whatever. Let's just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Just flow with the river. Don't take the whole thing so dang serious, right? And so if it doesn't end up being this whole thing, then I'm like, it's okay, cool, okay, peace out. It's fun while it lasted, you know? And when it does, I'm like, this is so good, and I milk it while it lasts, because I don't know if that person's gonna get possessed by a demon and go fucking nuts, flipping nuts on me. I don't know. What I do know is that happens a lot. And then I have to move on because I have a mission, and I'm not going to let some demon-possessed person overtake all my energy, so I have nothing to give to my kids or my own personal likes and desires and things I want to share with the world. No, all my energy is not going to go to this one like psychopath person that went nuts on me. Right? Like you have to be an addition to my life and a supporter to my mission, and I'll be an addition to your life and a supporter to your mission, but you don't get to come and suck all of me to you. That's not my plan. So then I do have to be like, oh, hey, peace out. And then some of them turn nutty. But I have mastered flowing through those situations without using a lot of my own emotional energy on that, because I don't want to use emotional energy on that, and I'm not trying to force them to be anything. Be where I'm at and match me, or be over there where I can't hear you. That's fine. I don't need to force anything to anything.
That's for her.
I'm sharing for those that find value in it, and for those that don't, there's some other thing that you'll value and love. So just keep all of that in perspective and in consideration when you're dealing with human beings, and don't get so emotional when someone turns into one of the even evil demon shell people. This child gets literally all my attention, trust me. Because they're there, you know? And when you have to break away from them, just do it calmly. You don't need to get all riled up and your emotions all in a funk and you're screaming and flipping out. I mean, okay, if you want to, but I'm not wasting my energy on all that yelling and flipping out.
No.
I just calmly say, no, I'm not going to do that.
And then
sometimes they try to force me, and I just sit there and wait for them to get bored and leave.
Baby, get in.
And then, of course, if they get really violent and aggressive, I call the police quietly and calmly, like, hey, yeah, so this person, like, I don't want them around me anymore, and they're not respecting my wishes. They're outside my house stalking me. Can you please come tell them to go away? You know?
Nope.
Right, I have to wait. Do you know how much energy is used in all the yelling and the freakouts? Huge, like weeks worth of energy, literally. It's not worth it for the little bit of accomplishment that you bullied somebody with yelling to get away from you or whatever.
Baby.
I'd rather step back and wait for them to remove themselves from the space, and then I come back in and do what I wanted to do in full and total calm, because I fully understand now that this is a vibrational game. And this yelling freak out thing, vibration up here where it's just like ripping massive amounts of energy from you being effective in your mission. Not worth it. So that's what I have to say about that. And that's why I have to say, don't waste your energy on these empty shell people. Don't get so high and so low. I mean, the highs are very high. They're very nice, but it's a calm, like, this is really good, you know? It's not like this, like, spaz thing. That uses up unnecessary amounts of energy in unnecessary areas. And then you have less to give, and then you get tired, and then you get sick, and all sorts of variety of unfortunate things. So let's learn to nap more. Let's learn to take breaks more. Let's learn to step back more. Let's learn to shut up more, way more. Because what they want us to do is waste our energy on the yelling and the freakouts and on the emotional ups and downs. And then they got us. We didn't get to be as effective as we otherwise could have. And we don't get to live as many years in health and vitality. So I want to be as effective for as long as possible personally. So I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to take more time. I'm going to be more quiet. Does that mean I'm just being a passive allower of anything? No, I don't allow anything that I don't want in my space. I'm just more patient about removing it when it's necessary than I used to be. And I have a lot more health and vitality than I used to as well. And as I get better and better, that health and vitality is increasing and becoming more. So I'm pretty excited about mastering this thing further and further as time goes by. And I encourage you to have the same goals so that we can do more and have more progress in kicking butt in the world of evil.